Hello and welcome to more Pokemon Uranium! Guys, this is a little bit awkward. There was no episode back on Friday, and that's because the episode you're watching right now is actually, well, I recorded this back on Friday, but the commentary was recorded on Monday. That is because my gosh dang hard drive filled up in the middle of my recording, and it deleted my commentary audio. I've still got the video, so that is good to go. I've still got the game audio, so that is good to go, but I lost my commentary. So I had a few options. I could have just skipped the episode, but this was the third gym. I don't want to just skip that portion, you know? If it was just me like searching for Pokemon, maybe I would have skipped it. My other option was to start the game completely over, but considering I took all the time to catch a whole bunch of Pokemon, I took the time to catch a gosh dang Tracton, which cost 9,999 coins, and I even grinded up more coins than that. I grinded up a couple extra thousand for held items. Considering I did all of that, I did not want to just start over because that would have been a nightmare. So option number 3 is what we're doing right now. I am basically watching this video with you guys and I'm commentating over it. This is a little bit different for me. This is not something I'm used to, but I think we can make it work. There's a few problems though. One is that whenever I edit my videos, the way I know where to edit is I look at the commentary track, the portions where I am not commentating. I go ahead and edit those out. Because I don't have a commentary track, I don't know what to edit out. So we're just gonna watch the entire unedited raw video together, and it'll probably be painful at portions, but that's okay. If I happen to like alt-tab at some point, then I'll go ahead and edit that out, but I don't think I do during this recording. I can't really remember. You guys might be wondering, why the crud is Psycho sitting here, driving back and forth for 2 minutes? Why was my intro so long? I was trying to explain a bunch of stuff about what I wanted to add to my team. So you're going to see me actually add a new Pokemon to my team right here. And basically what I was saying is that my team has pretty good type coverage, but I've decided to go all the way and add 2 more Pokemon to my team to try to cover the few weaknesses that I do still happen to have. And, well, a certain Pokemon, as you're going to see right here, is getting added to the team. We're going to add Mareep to the team, and let me explain why. So my team has same type attack bonus and super effective against every type in the game except for 6. And those 6 types are normal, water, flying, psychic, ghost, and dark. And, well, if I get an electric type, that's why I'm pointing out Mareep right here. If I get an electric type, that'll cover the water and flying weakness. And it turns out that Boshan covers the other 4 weaknesses because he's fighting and dark, which covers normal, psychic, ghost, and dark, which is amazing. But the problem is that I said before that I don't want to add old Pokemon to the team aside from Dunsparce, but having Boshan on the team, I don't know, Mareep is just such a good pair because they kind of both have each other's names, so I was really thinking about adding that. So definitely let me know, guys. Do you think we should add the actual Mareep to the team? There is one other option. We could add, there's a Pokemon we can get the egg for. I think we can get it in Beale Beach City here, and once it hatches, it'll become a electric and grass type. And having the grass type, not the best thing ever considering we're trying to use that to cover our flying, but, well, the electric will neutralize it, so they won't be super weak to flying or anything like that. So it really comes down to Mareep versus that Pokemon, because everything else either sucks or they're super late in the game. So it really comes down to that Pokemon or Mareep. So here's the benefits of Mareep. 1, pure electric, that's awesome. The other benefit is going to be that they are already level 16. Now, I don't know in this game, I don't know what level the Pokemon hatch as, so if we get that egg, assuming we can even get it now, guys, I am making a big assumption. I'm pretty sure we do get it in the city, but I don't know when we get that or if we can even go get that now, but I think we can. But if I get that, it's probably either going to hatch at level 5 or level 1. Here's the problem. Pokemon for the enemies level up pretty fast in Pokemon Uranium. Now, Trevor's fantastic because he's already level 30, but we're already struggling with Dexter. He is falling so far behind, and if we add a bunch of low-level Pokemon, I mean, at this point, we already have to level up Boshan, and if we add Mareep, we gotta level up them as well. But if we have a Pokemon that's level 1 on the team, that's going to soak up so much experience, and it's going to be so difficult to get everyone caught up. I mean, if you look at the levels of my opponents here, you can see that they kind of are around 24. Dexter is catching up, but he's still having some troubles. You guys will see me throughout this recording try to use Dexter several times, especially because my opponents several times, they have their own, what is even his name, Braylip? They have a lot of those as well, so I kept trying to do mirror matches and see if Dexter could handle it. And I don't know if I just played bad or if I got unlucky. I can't remember. It's been 4 days since I recorded this, so some of this stuff's going to be like a reminder and all that. But you can see I swapped out Dexter right there because he wasn't doing so great. But anyways, getting a little bit off topic, I was talking about Trevor's already level 30, which is fantastic. Dunsparce, I believe he's either 28 or 29 right now. He's doing great as well. And Bulbasaur, I think, is 28 or 29 as well. So if you look at the levels of my opponents, they're around 24-ish. Where the rest of my team here is, well, a lot higher than that. So I just really have to catch up Dexter and whoever I add to the team. But even still, I think that if we add a level 1, it's going to be a struggle. Now, one thing I remember, guys, is I ran to the Pokemon Center after, like, every single battle. So I should probably edit that out. But like I said, guys, we're just going completely raw. I don't know what the heck I'm going to talk about during these portions where I'm just running back over and over. But we'll figure something out. So yeah, once again, guys, just let me know. Do you think that we should go and use Mareep on the team? Just go ahead and use an old Pokemon. And by the way, I do think that this game has Mega Evolutions, and being that Mareep is a Pokemon that had a Mega Evolution, they do have a Mega Evolution in this game, which is awesome. But I don't know when we get the Mega Stones, when we get the ability to actually Mega Evolve at all. I don't know if that's something that happens during the course of the story, or if that's something that happens after you beat the game and kind of a post-game thing. And if there is post-game here, I will be doing that. If there's anything extra to do, I'm going to go ahead and do that, guys. Side quests, I'll do them. Post-game, I'll do them. I plan to do everything in this game, but I don't know if I want to base my team around having something, you know, I want to base my main team off of beating the story. Post-game is kind of separate, so I don't know if I consider the Mega part of my team unless I can get it before the Elite Four is what I'm trying to say. But pretty much a lot of these battles here you guys are going to see, it was kind of a bummer. Oh, here we go. This is where they had their own Dexter, and I'm like, bro, I got this CRUD. I'm gonna mirror match this CRUD because I don't have anything that's particularly good against Water and Psychic type. I don't have the Electric and I don't have the Dark. Well, now I've got the Dark because we decided to add Bashan. Oh, by the way, Bashan is Dark and Fighting, so he's there to cover the Psychic weakness. You would think that might be bad because Psychic is good against Fighting, but Dark type is completely immune to Psychic, so it covers that weakness super well. It's actually a pretty good type. I think it might be super weak to Fairy. I think they've got a 4-time weakness to Fairy because Fairy's good against both Dark and Fighting. Could be wrong there. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think he's 4-time weak to Fairy. But there is one downside. If they use an ability, I forget what they're called, but there's a certain ability that lets them hit you even though you're Dark type with Psychic moves, and if they use that, then they will be super effective on the Fighting type. But honestly, the chances of them having one of those exact moves and happening to use it is probably not that high, so I'm not super worried about it. And even if they do decide to use it, it's still just a 2-time super effective. It's not 4-time, and I can just swap if I need to. And to top things off there, well, we'll probably kill them or do a pretty good chunk of damage before they get to the point where I'm really worried about it. So I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Being a Dark and Fighting type also has another benefit, being that they are a Fighting type, they're probably going to have pretty good physical attack. And hopefully there's some good physical attacking Dark moves, because Psychic types tend to have, not always, but they tend to have better special defense and lower physical defense. And man, look at this battle, dude. I'm getting destroyed by this Braylip. Hey, gosh dang, had Dexter out. He's getting destroyed. I sent Dunsparce out. He's getting destroyed, hurting himself in confusion. Do I die here? I do. Gosh dang, Dunsparce dies against a level 24. That was embarrassing as crud. Gosh dang it, Past Psycho. You either played really bad or you just had some terrible luck. Either way, I remember this battle, dude. Oh my gosh. If I remember this right, yep, they get the yawn on me right here. Now, it looks like I'm doing fantastic. I've got all this HP. The Braylip is down to like almost nothing. It looks like I'm going to take him out with 1 or 2 more attacks right here. So I go for the Water Pulse, but watch this right here, guys. It does, look how much damage he does to me. That is because earlier on I used Amnesia, but then I swapped to Dunsparce. And when I swap back out, well, Amnesia is gone, but the opponent still has their Amnesia. So now I'm asleep because of Yawn, getting pounded by all these water pulses. So even though he's so close to gosh dang being dead, I'm still getting destroyed. And as you saw right there, he got the confusion on me too. So he goes for Harden. This is one thing I got really lucky. Sometimes they go for Harden, which is completely fine, because what the crud do I care about that? I'm going to use Water Pulse and Confusion. That really doesn't matter if they decide to use Harden. So he actually uses it twice right there, which is incredibly lucky. But there we go, we wake up, but then, well, we hurt ourselves in Confusion. Of course we do, why wouldn't we? And that actually hurt me pretty bad right there. I guess the only thing that the enemy doing Harden could really affect is if I did a Water Pulse or a Confusion and then actually confuse the enemy. Look at that, we hit ourselves again, gosh dang. But yeah, if we confuse the enemy, I think if they hurt themselves in Confusion, then they would not, what am I trying to say? If they hit themselves in Confusion, the Harden would basically defend against that. And look at that, crud, dude. Look at this. We're asleep again. He is still alive, and I had to swap out. I was just so upset at that point. I did all that work. I got him down with Dunsparce. Dunsparce dies. I send out my gosh dang Dexter again. And even though he's at like a 1/6 of his HP, he still can't do it. Then I send out Bosch on him. like, okay, I'll do a gosh dang dark move. Then I get hit by one Water Pulse. That didn't work. So this gosh dang one Braylip, level 24, is just wrecking my face. I can't send out Bulbasaur because, well, he's going to be 4 times weak to water. So I just have to fall back on Trevor. And man, I am so glad I bought Trevor. If I remember right, I had to fall back on Trevor a lot, dude. Like during this battle I had to. I remember that being a running theme. We might see a lot of Trevor. I'm going to try to not overuse Trevor. He's just so good. He's got speed boost, so good. He's got great moves, great stats. I mean, I've mentioned this before. His base stats in general are not really that great, but the stats that he does have are in great categories. He's got good speed, he's got good regular attack, I think his defenses are fine. His special attack, very low. If you're gonna have stats missing somewhere on a physical attacker, special attack is probably the place to have it, so that was great to see. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and look up Trevor's base stats real quick, or Tracton, I guess his name is. Tracton. Can I even look that up? Let's just go to the gosh dang. Yep, there it is. Okay, I'm on the wiki here. So Tracton's base stats, he's got an 85 in HP, which is not fantastic, but it's still pretty good. His attack is 110, awesome. His speed is 100, pretty gosh dang good. I mean, he's not like a gosh dang, he doesn't excel at these categories. He's not like a Ninjask or an Electrode with his speed or something like that. But 100, pretty good. You know, you're going to be faster than most regular Pokemon. And once you got that speed boost in there, we'll probably work our way up to be faster than even the speedy Pokemon. And especially once we get Gear Shift, which raises our speed by 2 levels in 1 turn. And then you combo that with speed boost, you'll go up by 3 speed in 1 turn. We could max out our speed in just 2 turns if we really wanted to be super fast. So even super fast Pokemon will be able to outspeed unless they also do speed ups. It's pretty good. Now his special attack, 50. So that's not bad. His defense is 70 and his special defense is 80. So he doesn't excel at defense once again, but those aren't bad. 70 and 80 is not terrible. You know, he's not going to just get destroyed. It's not like he's super low in either one of those categories. Now let me actually go look up Braylip, because I always confuse his stats. So let's go look Braylip up real quick. I believe it's actually his it's physical attack if that's bad. And I'm not going to look at Braylip. Let's look at Braylip's evolved form. I'm not going to spoil what the name of that guy is. But here are Braylip's stats. 65 in speed. So he's not very good. He's not very fast. It's not like super slow, but that's pretty slow. He's going to be slower than most things. I noticed average speed tends to be around 70 or 80. So 65, kind of bad. Now his HP, 105. Fantastic HP. Not crazy. I mean, once Dunsparce is in his evolved form, his HP base is 140. So Dunsparce, a lot better in HP, but that's kind of what Dunsparce's gimmick is. He's a high HP kind of guy. So 105 is fantastic. Now here is where gosh dang Braylip excels. 140 special defense. He is a crazy special wall, which is actually pretty gosh dang good in a couple of ways. Usually Pokemon that have electric or grass attacks, that tends to be special attacks. Not always, but usually that's the case. And those are his big weaknesses right there. He does have the weakness to Dark because of his Psychic. Let me go down and look at all of his weaknesses real quick. So he's got a few other weaknesses. He's got Bug, Ghost, and Dark because of his Psychic typing. Ghost, again, not always. It's kind of a 50-50. Some physical, some special. But he's not going to do super bad there. Dark, it's kind of up in the air. Bug tends to be more physical. So he's going to have some weaknesses because of his defense. Or he's not going to have that special defense boost on everything. But a good chunk of stuff he will. Now his regular defense is 85. Which it's actually pretty decent. That's not bad at all. That's definitely not a bad defense. But his physical attack, 35. So again, if you're gonna have stats missing from a special attacker, you probably want that to be in your physical attack, which it is, which is perfect. I love that. Now, generally, I'm not a big fan of Pokemon with lower speed. 65, a little bit slow for me. I tend to like going first. But he's just a gosh dang Pokemon with a giant brain. I just thought it was a cool design, so we went for it. And Water Psychic is a fun type as well. And we were able to get it at a convenient time. So he kind of checked a lot of boxes that I was looking for, so we added him to the team. As you can see right here, I tried once again to do a mirror match. And as you've probably been watching for the past gosh dang forever, because these matches take ages, it didn't go so well. We got put to sleep. I didn't get confusions on them. I don't think this entire battle I've ever got a confusion on them. It's ridiculous. So we ended up having to switch again. And this time I was like, you know what? We're not going to waste our time with Dunsparce. Trevor's going to be the one to defeat this CRUD. We're sending him out right now. Because I'm pretty sure once we get to this point, we beat him in like 1 or 2 swings. And unfortunately, they use Yawn, which is just gosh dang annoying. I mean, really, with the gosh dang Trevor out there, they're not going to win. Okay, we get the one shot, so Yawn doesn't matter. But if it did, it would just be more annoying than anything. And there we go, we beat Swimmer Monica. And we're gonna go back to the Pokemon Center again. And you might have noticed, if you guys were watching the experience bar right there, Trevor had like 1 pixel from leveling up. He was like, the bar was full. I didn't actually check, but he probably had like 1 experience to level or something really small, because he was so close to leveling. It was ridiculous. But man, this is, I don't know if I mentioned this. This gym right here is what I thought it was a water gym, but you probably noticed it's not really all water types. I think that the theme here is actually a beach gym. So you've got Pokemon that you would find on a beach. So that's why we've got all the Kokorons, and, well, Braylip we caught on the beach, so I guess he kind of fits. But, yeah, we're going to see a lot of those Pokemon. There's quite a lot of repeat Pokemon here, and I would say, as much as I love this game's design in general, I think this is a little bit of bad design, and what I mean by that is there's only a few Pokemon that show up in this gym. And I mentioned this before, I like going to gyms and seeing new Pokemon, seeing stuff that we haven't quite seen yet. But in this gym, we have Pokemon that we saw pretty much on the last couple of routes. I mean, Kokoron I think was Route 7, which was just before this, and Braylip was a little bit further back, but the Pokemon that we just saw previously, we've already been fighting those guys. I don't want to go to the gym and fight them over and over again. So, in my opinion, that was a little bit of bad design. I mean, it's not a big deal, and it makes sense. You got trainers using Pokemon that they found on the way here, or something like that, right? But when you get to a gym, you usually want to have new and exciting Pokemon. And I guess you can't expect the world out of the random trainers. As long as the actual gym leader's got something new, that's cool, right? So I guess it's got that going for it. But here's where I think they could have changed things. You don't have to have like 10 trainers, you know? If you've got a big variety of Pokemon for the player to battle against, sure, go ahead, have a ton of battles. That's awesome, you know? We get to see a whole bunch of new Pokemon, have different and unique battles. And I will say, I don't think any battle was exactly the same. I think that each battle had slight variations, whether it be they have more Pokemon, so they've got different levels, fewer Pokemon, so they've got higher levels, I guess, or they'll have slightly different lineups. I'm not sure if there's any 2 battles where you've got the exact same Pokemon at the exact same levels with the exact same moveset. I don't know if that pops up. I didn't really keep track of that. Maybe it did. I mean, we've got the whole unedited thing right here, so you guys can let me know if you saw the same Pokemon in the exact same order with the exact same levels. That might have happened. I know we fought multiples of the Dexter, or Braylip. I just always call him Dexter because that's what I called my guy. And because it's a new Pokemon, it's, you know, it's not a Pokemon that I've known half my life. and that I'm just nicknaming. It's Pokemon that I'm new to, so whenever I put these nicknames down, I keep having trouble calling them that. But anyways, we had a few Dexters show up that were both level 24, but I don't know if the Pokemon that accompanied those were the same, for example, so not sure there. But again, as you can see, going back to the Pokemon Center between every single gosh dang battle, I think I did that through the entire thing right here, which would have been very smooth in an edited version, but in this gosh dang raw uncut CRUD, not so much. Yeah, well, not the big deal. Not that big of a deal. But yeah, just to kind of finish off that point, you don't need to have this many trainers if there's not that many Pokemon to see. If there's not that many Pokemon to put on all these different trainers, you should really build the gym based around the Pokemon you have available. If you can only make 3 interesting battles, just have 3 battles, you know? If you're gonna have mostly the same stuff over and over, don't have so many battles. I think it's just, I don't know, not that big of a deal, like I said. You just fly through it, you just kind of turn your brain off, grind some stuff. Not a big deal, but usually your expectations for a gym are a little bit higher. You kind of want those battles to be special, you know? Because you've got a few different categories of battle. You've got the random encounters, which, you know, you just kind of find whatever's in the area, which could just be anything. You know, it's random, that's the whole point. You've got trainers, which are preset, but when you're just kind of out on the routes, those are kind of just meant to be filler. They're meant to give you something to do, so you're not just walking around the entire time. So they give you, they also give you ways to earn money. So random trainers, they're there to give you some dialogue, break up the action a little bit, have some actual gameplay that's not just random encounters, things that you can't just run away from, and give you some dialogue, give you some money, give you better experience. That's what those are there for. But you kind of have the option, I guess you have this option here as well, but you could skip those guys. But, you know, they're just there to give you something to do on your route. But those guys, on random trainers and stuff, those make a lot more sense to me to have stuff that you actually find in the route. You can kind of imagine the trainers were just exploring the area, they caught some stuff, or you could even look at it a few ways. You could say the trainers happen to be passing by, they happen to be in the area, and they happen to catch that stuff. Or, as you see, a lot of trainers are just standing around, they might be fishing. You could say the trainers like this area, they kind of congregate here, and they caught the Pokemon that happen to be in the area because that's just the place they like to be. And it can go either way. You know, the basic example, in forest, you got bug catchers, and they have bug Pokemon, because gosh dang, there's bugs in the forest. You know, it makes sense. But, I don't know, for the random trainers like that, my standards are a lot lower. I kind of expect to see the same Pokemon over and over. I kind of expect it to just be filler battles. And that's why a lot of the time, I haven't really been doing it in this Let's Play too much, but a lot of Let's Plays, you'll see them kind of edit out the random trainers, because there's just so much of them. They're just kind of a grind fest. And I've been doing them a lot in this game just because the Pokemon are all new, you know. But usually in Let's Plays, especially the more polished ones, they will tend to cut out those random trainers, or they'll show stuff when it's new. But after you've seen the same Pokemon a million times, you cut it out. And actually, now that I think about it, I kind of did that in this Let's Play as well. I never cut out like entire trainers, but I'd be like, okay, you've seen me kill this Pokemon a billion times, I'll cut out that kill, and then I'll cut out the Knapmunk or whatever it happens to be. But the whole big picture of the point I'm trying to make is that it's okay for the random trainers out in the fields to just be random Pokemon, but once you get to the gyms, I feel like they should be special. And they did that pretty well back in the older Pokemon games. I haven't really kept track. I mean, they've probably done it good throughout all the Pokemon games, but just because I've played it so many times, I've got Generation 1 in my head, so I can imagine that CRUD very clearly. So imagine back to the first gym. Right here, I don't know why I'm just standing there. I was probably like taking a drink or catching my breath, waiting to edit back in. I ran back to the exact same spot and I was waiting to edit back in. So this is things that I do sometimes while I'm editing. I'll try to like line my character up to go back to the same spot, so when I'm ready to edit back in, oh, crud, I remember this, dude. Actually, I got up and gosh, I went to the bathroom right here. And I remember this being a very specific point because it was the first time out of any recording I've ever done outside of live streaming, out of YouTube videos recording, this was the first time I ever took a bathroom break. And that's because I've been drinking a lot more water lately. And, I don't know. I've just been drinking a lot more water lately. There's a lot of people who say drinking too much water is bad. At first, I was drinking like 3 liters a day. I've cut back on that because that is too much, and there's not necessarily any research to show that drinking that much water is good for you. It's just kind of a drink when you're thirsty type of thing. But I do have the 3-liter jug still, but now I don't force myself to drink the entire thing. I just kind of drink what I want and that tends to be around 1.5 to 2 liters, which, wow, it's surprising that I'm even drinking that much, because I used to drink like 1 drink a day. I was pretty low on my fluid intake for a long time, just because I was lazy. But since I started drinking a lot more, got to go to the bathroom a lot more, and I just had to go really bad during the recording, so that is what I went and did. But anyway, tangent over, back to what I was talking about. The gosh dang first gym, imagine back to Brock's gym in terms of just Pokemon variety. You go in, you fight the first trainer, what does he have? He's got a Diglett and a Sandshrew. 2 Pokemon that you could not have seen up until that point. Brand new stuff. Sure, it doesn't make the most sense to have gosh dang Diglett and Sandshrew in the gosh dang rock type gym, but still, it was cool to see new Pokemon. And to be fair, they didn't have that many rock Pokemon to choose from. I can't even remember. What are the rock Pokemon from Generation 1? You've got Rhyhorn, you've got Geodude, you've got Onix. I'm drawing blanks. I can't even remember any other rock Pokemon. Maybe that's it. I don't know. There's probably something else as well, but there's not a lot to choose from, basically. So what did they do? They gave him Diglett and Sandshrew. Awesome! They could have been like, okay, give him a Rattata, give him a Pidgey or something, because he's just some random trainer. And that's things we've seen so far. He could have given him a Nidoran or something like that. But that's boring, you know? We've already seen those Pokemon. Maybe not Nidoran. I guess Nidoran would have been okay. But Rattata you've almost certainly seen at that point. Don't give him a Nidoran. That's boring. It's a gym. It's supposed to be special, right? So they give him a Diglett and a Sandshrew, and it's great. And then you get to Brock himself. He's got Geodude and Onix. Fantastic. You've got more new Pokemon. So the entire gym is just new Pokemon. Unless you count, you know, I think he has 2 Geodudes. So if you don't count that. But that's awesome. But this game, and I don't know if other Pokemon games have had this problem, but this game, you go to the first gym, it's a normal type gym. You see a bunch of normal types that you've already been seeing for the entire game up until that point. And they do have one new Pokemon in the form of an evolved form of one of those normal types. Oh, here I got stuck on the stairs. That was really weird. But yeah, I think gyms should be special. And Uranium's gotten better with it. It's not quite as bad as it was earlier on, but I don't know, man. I love seeing new Pokemon at the gym. And Uranium is still bad, even in Gym 3. It's very bad with the random trainers. They just got the same stuff over and over. So that's just kind of something you have to deal with. But at the same time, if you don't have 5 billion Pokemon to choose from, just reduce the number of trainers. Because back in Generation 1, there was 1 trainer in the first gym. Generation 2, there was, or not Generation 2, but the second gym, Misty's gym, they had 2 trainers. One trainer had a Shelter, which was brand new. The other trainer had a Goldeen, which I think you might have been able to see, and I'm not sure. But it was new. And then Misty, you had Starmie, and you had Staryu. Awesome. You had a bunch of new Pokemon, and that was super cool. Lieutenant Surge, I think he also had new stuff. You could have seen a Raichu if you got one yourself, but he had Voltorb. Well, it depends on what version you played. I think in Red and Green, or Red and Blue, he had Voltorb as well. And you saw Magnemites there in CRUD. So every time you went to a new gym, you saw a new Pokemon, and that was super cool. Where this game, they kind of base the gym around the stuff in the surrounding area, which actually makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense to have you go through a route that's on the beach, and then you go to the beach gym. That's cool. But they could have done the flip side and have you go to the beach gym and then go to the beach afterwards. So you saw these new Pokemon at the gym, and then suddenly you go to the beach area and you get to catch all those beach Pokemon. I don't know. There might not be an easy fix, but hopefully you guys get what I'm talking about. Just the fact that if you don't have that many Pokemon to choose from, maybe don't have so many trainers, you know? You want to keep those gym things special. At least that's how I feel. But anyways, we're on to the gym leader right here. I am surprised I managed to go on tangents long enough to fill gosh dang almost half an hour leading up to this point. But here we go, the gosh dang gym leader. And if I remember right, pretty much Trevor Wreckin' You can see we've got Tubjaw right here, level 26. So even though we're just getting to a new gym, we're already over leveled, dude. It kind of happened. I don't know, man. I didn't grind really on random Pokemon. I did for a little bit with Tonami, but that didn't last more than like 2 battles, and I was like, this is dumb. I'm not doing that, CRUD. So I really haven't grinded that much. I've just been fighting stuff as I go. Even when I went back to like catch that Weasel and find random encounters or try to catch new Pokemon, I actually didn't really grind. I actually just ran from stuff. So just battling the trainers I happen to find, my levels are doing fantastic. Maybe the game intended for you to skip some stuff, or maybe they intended you to have more than 3 main Pokemon. Actually, I've got 4 main Pokemon now, but I guess Trevor kind of started at level 30, so it kind of gets around that. But as you can see right here, we got a Braylip. I did an Iron Defense before because I wasn't sure what they were going to have. And there's one thing I was very worried about. They've got the whole beach Pokemon thing going on, and Kokoron is ground. So I was worried they might have a Kokoron, and if they had a high-level Kokoron, then they could do a ground move, which would hurt on Trevor because he's Steel type, he's weak to that CRUD. So I wanted to be safe against that because I would love to use Dexter against that, but if they had a ground and, well, I think this guy right here is ground and water type, so that's scary on its own, but they also have ground and grass type. Both of those kind of cover their weakness. Right there you see I get hit really hard with the critical, super scary. I probably would have died without that Iron Defense. I'm not sure if that was a special attack or physical, but if it was a physical, I was dead without Iron Defense, so I'm super glad I did that. But yeah, grass and ground and water and ground, they cover their weakness to water, so even if Dexter was able to battle these guys, first off, he probably wouldn't have done that great because he's kind of low level, but even if he was going to do fantastic, it probably would have still sucked because they covered their weakness, so it wasn't going to be that great. So I kind of just relied on Trevor, but well, right there, I barely survived. So happy. Once again, Iron Defense saved me right there. It was so good. So I hit him again with the Dragon Claw, just spamming Dragon Claw, hoping I can manage to survive through this. My speed is super high. I've got the defense boost, but he's sending out a new Pokemon right here, and I wasn't sure what it was. The name was something new, so I had to just guess what it was going to be. Being that this is the beach gym, it could have been anything. You know, it could have been water, it could have been ground, but it turns out it is the evolved form of Kokoron, grass and ground type. So I took the best possible choice, and I used Dunsparce. I basically chose him, I put him out because no matter what they were, as long as it wasn't fighting, which I really was not expecting, he was going to be pretty good against that CRUD. And you can see he took that Sand Tomb pretty darned well. We go for the takedown right here. Does a pretty good chunk. We do take the recoil, and we will take the extra hit from Sand Tomb. So you can see we're actually pretty even in this match, and our gosh dang levels line up pretty well as well. We're both level 28. This time, they go for the Leaf Blade, hits about as hard as the Sand Tomb did, which is quite hard, and then we hit them a little bit right there. The downside is, well, right there we get down to 1 HP, but here's the downside. We are slower, so there's not much we can do about that CRUD. So what I do here is I try to switch to Bulbasaur, but then I remember I'm still stuck in a Sand Tomb. There's nothing I can do about that CRUD, so Dunsparce has to die, basically, unless they do something dumb. But right here, they go for a Super Potion, so I go for the Roost just in case they did that, and they did. So now I'm going to get healed up right here. Awesome. I can't remember if I decided to wait out the Sand Tomb or if I decided to try to do another Roost. I can't remember. Okay, looks like I went for another Roost. So they're going for a Leaf Blade. That'll kill me for criticals. And okay, never mind. It'll kill me regardless. So that is done. Do I decide to go Bulbasaur? I think I do. Yeah, we do. I can't remember how this battle went. So there's a couple ways it could go. Maybe I ended up actually trying to use a potion on Trevor. Or maybe I made it work with Bulbasaur. I am kind of weak to ground type. Wow, that Flame Wheel did a lot. Okay. Oh, this is what got me. Crab Hammer. I was not expecting the water type attack. 4 times super effective, and they one-shot me. But here it goes, guys. They get gosh dang Flame Body. I remember this. I got so hyped, dude. They got the Flame Body, and that killed them. I think that Trevor probably would have been faster anyways, but I just thought that was so cool. And then Dexter gets all of the experience because they got the experience share, and all my other guys died. So that was just super, super awesome to get all that experience for Dexter, putting him up to level 25 through this gym. I think he started today at 22. He goes to 25. Super awesome. But with that, guys, we got the Tide Badge. And wow, I had a lot of stuff to talk about today. We also got the Water Pulse TM. But that was pretty much it for this one, guys. I don't plan to make the post-commentary a running thing. I just thought it would be better to show this than just completely skip this portion. So hopefully you guys don't mind one episode with a kind of ranty, tangenty, random, uncut post-commentary right here. But that is pretty much it, guys. At this point, I'm just running around. I think I go to heal and then I save my game. So that's going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow with, gosh dang, not post-commentary. So I will see you guys then. Take